Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. President Volodymyr Zelensky has visited Ukrainian troops in the Donetsk region to meet soldiers on the front line in Bakhmut. I am honoured to be here today. I am really grateful to you, to all of you, he said. After receiving awards, the soldiers spoke to the president and took photographs with him. He also appeared on video visiting and awarding wounded servicemen in hospital. French President Emmanuel Macron has given a defiant defence of his decision to force through a rise in the pension age in the face of protests across France and 2 no-confidence votes.
Est-ce que vous pensez que j'aurais pas pu faire comme tant avant moi, mettre la poussière sous le tapis? Oui.
This reform isn't a luxury, it's not a pleasure, it's a necessity, he said. Protesters have been emboldened by the government's use of constitutional power to ram through reforms without a vote in the National Assembly. A 9th round of strikes and national protests have been staged today. A Russian missile strike caught on camera on a residential building in Zaporizhia has killed 1 person and injured 33. This incredible camera phone footage showing one of the missiles smashing into the building. 2 children were among those injured. Here, the devastation after the explosions with 2 9-story residential buildings damaged. President Zelensky said Russia was shelling the city with bestial savagery. Boris Johnson has faced a committee of MPs over whether he intentionally misled Parliament over lockdown-era parties. Mr Johnson was photographed on numerous occasions breaking his own lockdown rules during the COVID pandemic. The committee hearing started with the former Prime Minister taking an oath on the Bible, something that is rare for such proceedings. The ex-Prime Minister accepts that he misled the Commons but denies he did so on purpose, arguing that he relied on the advice of senior staff.
There were a number of days over a period of 20 months when gatherings took place in Downing Street that went past the point where they could be said to be necessary for work purposes. That was wrong. I bitterly regret it. I understand public anger and I continue to apologise for what happened on my watch, and I take full responsibility. But as you've just said, Chair, the purpose of this inquiry is not to reopen so-called Partygate. I'm here to say to you, hand on heart, that I did not lie to the House. When those statements were made, they were made in good faith and on the basis of what I honestly knew and believed at the time. When this inquiry was set up, I was completely confident that you would find nothing to show I knew or believed anything else, as indeed you have not.
Live broadcasts on television have been disrupted after the effects of a magnitude 6.5 earthquake in Afghanistan were felt in Pakistan. An anchor on the Pashto channel, Mashriq TV, appeared to remain calm as he continued to announce that a strong quake was shaking Peshawar and adjoining areas. At least 13 people were killed and more than 90 injured in Pakistan and Afghanistan after the earthquake struck late on Tuesday. 25 people were injured when a ship came off its holding and tipped on its side in Scotland, with 15 people taken to hospital. The incident happened at a dry dock in Leith. 10 people were treated and discharged at the scene. 5 ambulances, an air ambulance, 3 trauma teams and other specialist responders had earlier attended the scene. And Tokyo locals and foreign tourists have gathered in Ueno Park to enjoy cherry blossoms in full bloom, as the city lifted its ban on gatherings in the park this year for the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic. Many visitors to Ueno Park, one of Japan's most popular cherry blossom viewing spots, were seen having picnics under trees and taking pictures. Warm weather ushered in the full bloom 9 days sooner than usual in the capital, and one of the earliest in recorded history. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.